The Big Picture, a Christian insight on the world of film, television and popular culture, with magazine editor Ben McEachen and scriptwriter Mark Hadley. 3D glasses on, amps to 11, screens to maximum. Get ready for The Big Picture.
Well, we've come to that segment, which is one of my personal favourites, what your kids are watching, or
There
in
you
fact, what
go.
they'll be watching next. And as a parent, we really want to know, what sort of things are the kids going to be watching? Will it be worthwhile? So, for what your kids are watching this week, when they're not watching Star Wars, let's face it, we thought we'd take a look at a multi-million-dollar book franchise that's making the jump to film this summer. Goosebumps books have been crowding kids' shelves since the early 1990s, and this January, it'll finally make its way to the movie cinemas in the form of a Jack Black comedy aimed at late primary and early high school kids.
Whoa, the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena? These are all Goosebumps manuscripts. Why are these books locked?
Did you unlock a book?
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I'll put it back where it belongs. Look, here it is.
No, don't open it!
Nobody make a sound.
Woo, nobody make a sound. Yes. Zach Cooper has moved to Delaware with his mother. Moved from New York City to Delaware. And interestingly
So this
enough,
is a downgrading in his life.
there
Okay,
you go.
right.
So as a teenager, he's kind of like, oh, what is going on? What are you doing moving me to Delaware? But he moves next door to an interesting young love interest of his, but has a fascinating father who seems really disinterested in this young guy named Zach. Come to find out, he's actually R.L. Stein, the R.L. Stein.
Who is R.L. Stein?
R.L. Stein, who is the author of the best-selling Goosebumps series.
Oh, okay, so they're actually acknowledging that the books exist in the film.
In the film, he's played by Jack Black. It's the R.L. Stein's actually not in. Well, he's in the film, but it's in a cameo. But he actually is next door. But he plays kind of this reclusive individual. He doesn't want to really engage with anybody in the community. But then, interestingly enough, Zach and his best friend get into the house, and they open up one of the Goosebump novels.
Okay.
And come to find out, the monsters all come to life. They're all real.
Okay, they're
And
all trapped inside their books.
they're all trapped inside of their books, and they get out and they wreak havoc on this small town in Delaware. It's probably the most exciting thing that happened in that small town in Delaware ever. And I really found that it was a fascinating story as far as going through. If you have any sort of connection with Goosebumps, I think you'll probably really enjoy this. If you don't, it's really interesting. It kind of introduces you to this world. It's kind of this interesting combination of comedy and horror for children.
Yeah, this is what I want to know. So horror for kids. I mean, take it from a parent here. Sorry, that really does start to sound like something I maybe don't want my sons to see. I mean, what is it like? Is it horrifying?
It's not really horrifying, and really one of the things that R.L. Stein even talks about in his books is that he strives to stay away from the whole idea of death. There is some allusions to that, and there's even zombies in the film. So, I mean, as far as understanding going through and seeing zombies, I think that this is really marketed more to that tween or teen market, the preteen market, much more than it would be to your younger audience. As far as your young boys, I probably wouldn't take them to, but this age bracket has a tendency to be a little bit jaded, and so maybe they might enjoy it. But I would probably say no. It wasn't fascinating. It wasn't great entertainment. It was typical Jack Black, and so it was perfect for Jack Black as far as his kind of over-the-top antics
Kind
and
of
the way
slapstick.
Slapstick, falling down, and also the kids are fascinating, and man, they bring in every single character from the Goosebumps regime, as it were. But I really found that overall, I wasn't like, oh, I love this film. It didn't make me want to go out and read the books. But all in all, can it hurt anything? No. I mean, I think it's probably good entertainment over the summer.
And so it's pretty safe. If your kids were into the books and you were happy with that, then you'd be happy with them seeing the film. They wouldn't be the edge
definitely.
Okay, hang on a second. The one other thing, though, if I recollect the books properly, there's always a bit of a twist in all of the plot lines. Is there a last-minute twist? Okay, don't give it away, but is there? Do they follow the format?
Well, you know what? That is a really good point, because it's actually, I've been watching some of the interviews with R.L. Stein, and he always talks about the twist, and that being one of the most important parts of his book. And it's even alluded to when Jack Black is teaching as R.L. Stein in the movie. He talks about the importance of the twist. And I do do find, there is a twist. There is something that doesn't really, it catches you off guard a little bit, but it's nothing quite to the degree of maybe the best things that we did from Star Wars and Star Trek. But there was a twist. But I think it also pulls down kind of, when we really look at kind of the big picture, looking at the meta-narrative, as it were, from, kind of God's story, that all good stories, I mean, you're a script writer, you would probably, this is something you probably would know, definitely.
Yeah, don't leave people leading to them exactly what they think is going to be the ending.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's the twist that really grabs people's attention. I mean, I really can kind of almost point to the gospel, and looking at the gospel is an ultimate twist. You look at this man who really had no significance within his community.
We're talking about Jesus.
Jesus,
Okay,
not R.L. Stein.
Yeah.
But looking at Jesus in his community, but yet the impact that he's had on the world due to his death, burial, and resurrection. It's the ultimate twist. It's that tipping point in history that I can really see the value of and understand why R.L. Stein would actually pull that idea and say, look, it really comes down to the twist. And the twist is probably the most important part of the books.
Okay, well, Goosebumps is rated PG for mild, scary themes and stars Jack Black, Halston Sage, Odeya Rush, and a huge amount of latex and goo.
The Big Picture is a Bible Society Australia production and part of Hope 1032's family of podcasts and vodcasts.